This episode is presented in a reflective, audiobook-style format. Today, we examine one of the most transformative works on psychological freedom, The Courage to be Disliked, authored by philosopher Ichiro Kishimi and writer Fumitake Koga. The central thesis of this book is deceptively simple. Most human suffering originates from a single source: our preoccupation with how others perceive us. Kishimi and Koga contend that this persistent concern with external judgment constrains our fulfillment, influences our choices, and silently governs the lives we lead. Their bold assertion is this: true happiness requires only one thing: the courage to be disliked. The foundation of their argument rests on the work of Alfred Adler, whose psychology challenged conventional thinking about human nature. Adler proposed that people are not prisoners of their history, but architects of their future, guided by the objectives they establish for themselves. His perspective offers radical hope. It suggests that no matter what experiences have shaped your past, regardless of hardship, error, or setback, you retain absolute freedom to determine how you live moving forward. Adler rejected the notion that personality is fixed. You are not born timid, nervous, self-doubting, or withdrawn. Rather, you construct a lifestyle, a habitual way of thinking, feeling, and acting, because you unconsciously believe it serves a particular purpose. In Adlerian thought, intention precedes emotion. We experience anxiety, frustration, dejection, or dread, not because these feelings emerge spontaneously, but because we generate them to fulfill an underlying objective. Consider someone who claims to want achievement, but consistently becomes paralyzed by apprehension before taking action. They insist their nervousness prevents them from moving forward. But Adler would propose a different interpretation. The individual manufactures anxiety to justify avoiding potential failure. Their deeper goal is not accomplishment. It is protection from disappointment, and apprehension serves that goal perfectly. Kishimi and Koga challenge common assumptions about how the past shapes identity. While past events undeniably affect us, they do not dictate our trajectory. The authors assert that no experience in isolation causes either success or failure. What determines outcomes is the interpretation we impose on those experiences. Put differently, we are not defined by what occurred in our lives, but by the meaning we choose to extract from it. If this principle holds true, why do countless individuals remain trapped in dissatisfaction? The authors trace unhappiness to the objectives people establish within their social relationships. Adler maintained that nearly all psychological distress stems from interpersonal conflict. For many, the dominant goal in human interaction is securing validation from others. Kishimi and Koga observe that chronically unhappy individuals chase recognition because they equate their value with being admired or affirmed. They conform to external expectations, perpetually modifying their conduct to satisfy the standards imposed by others. This way of living exacts a profound price: the surrender of autonomy. Once you depend on another person's approval to feel adequate, you transfer authority over your life to them. And since approval represents another's evaluation, your behavior becomes governed by their criteria. You cease living according to your principles and instead live according to the fluctuating judgments of those around you. The authors emphasize that pursuing approval is not merely draining. It is fundamentally unachievable. You cannot earn universal affection. You cannot satisfy every demand. And because approval lies beyond your influence, tying your contentment to it ensures perpetual frustration. When individuals eventually recognize they cannot fulfill others' expectations, Many adopt an alternative strategy that proves equally damaging. They withdraw entirely. They persuade themselves that something within them is irreparably defective, that they are inadequate, undeserving, or helpless. This conviction functions as a shield, enabling them to sidestep the vulnerability of rejection by declaring defeat in advance. Yet in doing so, they remain imprisoned by the identical objective, the craving for approval, even while appearing to renounce it. These dynamics corrupt relationships as well. Kishimi and Koga describe how individuals whose lives revolve around external validation inevitably perceive existence as a contest. Another person's achievement feels like a personal threat. Their misfortune brings secret relief, and authentic connection becomes unattainable because interactions devolve into evaluations rather than genuine engagement. When life is experienced through the framework of competition, forming meaningful, cooperative relationships becomes nearly impossible. However, the authors present an alternative path. Rather than pursuing recognition, psychologically healthy individuals seek contribution. They derive satisfaction not from receiving praise, but from being of service. For them, fulfillment emerges from the knowledge that their presence adds value to others' lives, however modest that contribution may be. This orientation toward usefulness liberates them from anxiety about perception. Kishimi and Koga maintain that once you recognize your inherent worth, external confirmation becomes unnecessary. You do not require admiration or affirmation. You simply act in alignment with what you consider meaningful, and contentment naturally arises. Psychologically free people concentrate less on their appearance to others and more on their capacity to serve. They do not feel diminished by others' success, because another person's happiness does not subtract from their own. They do not conceptualize relationships as bargains or calculations, and they do not anchor their self-regard to whether others conform to their preferences. Perhaps most significantly, they inhabit the present moment. They do not postpone happiness until some future accomplishment validates their existence. They select contentment now, in their daily interactions, in their efforts, and in their small acts of contribution to the world they inhabit. The fundamental teaching of the courage to be disliked can be distilled to this: regardless of your choices, there will always be individuals who reject you, misinterpret you, or disapprove of you. If you permit their perspectives to dictate your decisions, you will never know freedom. To construct a meaningful life, you must accept that universal approval is impossible, and you must cultivate the courage to live according to your convictions regardless. This is the foundation of genuine happiness. Not praise, not validation, but the resolve to follow your own path even when others object. If you found value in this exploration, consider supporting the channel by liking this video. And if you'd like to continue learning from powerful books and ideas, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.